Good morning.
Respira, amor.
This is Samuel Jacob Kirshner, voice of the breeze, welcoming you today to Refugidom. The definition of a refugee is a person who has been
Respirez
forced
l'amour.
to leave their country in order to escape war, persecution, or natural disaster. But the origin is from the French word refuge, person who is in search of refuge, safety and shelter from danger or trouble.
לנשום אהבה.
I'd like to add bullying, oppression, annihilation, discrimination, xenophobia, post-traumatic stress, depression, and probably many more. How many people in the
تنفس
world today
الحب.
could identify with that definition? If you are one of these people, I have a heart and a message for you. Before I go into
הושידה. היי.
sharing my message with you, I want to stop for a second and demonstrate what it's like to have a heart, so that it's not just empty words, but it's really based in an experience that's happening
respirar במוח.
right now. To me, having a heart, other than the obvious, having compassion, having empathy, is also to actually feel the breath in my heart.
Atmen, Liebe.
Would you join me for a moment in practicing that, in taking a breath normally, as you normally do, feeling the breath in your body,
Respira l'amore.
and then opening your heart and feeling the breath in your heart or in this region, in the chest.
Breathe love.
And notice what happens when you just allow yourself to feel the breath in your heart without philosophizing, just simply doing it as best as you can. Everybody understands breathing,
Respira amor.
everybody understands heart, and I do believe that you understand what it's like. You can feel the breath inside your heart. Visualize that and actually see what happens.
Respirez l'amour.
And that's actually what I call breathing love, is to just feel the breath in the heart. I've been doing this for a long time.
לנשום אהבה.
In fact, if there's anything I try to come back to, and that I keep forgetting because I'm human, it is to feel my breath in my heart and not to be in my head about that too, because that's the tendency today.
تنفس الحب.
Everything filters through the head, and something is missed, of course, by breathing from the head and opening the heart or having empathy or compassion from the head. It has to translate to an experience in the moment, in the
Hoshida.
present, in
Ai.
the body, and in the breath, and in the heart, and in the soul. So, in my experience, when we actually
Respirar
breathe
bamor.
and feel the breath, not deep breath, just just a regular, easeful breath. You feel it in your heart. Something happens. Some process happens. The chemistry changes, and you can
Atmen.
connect to
Liebe.
your soul. To connect to the soul is to the blessings of the soul. Because your soul really wants to bless you. You have to be ready to receive blessings of the soul.
Respira l'amore.
I actually learned that first had an experience this week. Something about the blessing of the soul. Asking for the blessings of your own soul when it comes to issues, disturbances, things that are going wrong,
Breathe.
and that we
Love.
can otherwise, think about and figure out strategies, which is the big thing nowadays. Everything we want to fix. But here, rather than going for the fixing, you're going for the blessings of your soul.
Respira amor.
So imagine, this week I had to terminate my work with something. Of course, there were issues that brought about it, but bottom line, we needed to end
Respirer l'amour.
our association the way we've been working together for 2 years from both sides. And of course, it's so easy to go for the what's wrong and want to talk about it. And, in my old ways, I used to want to
Lynchon.
talk about things. Everything had to be talked about. Let's talk about it. I'm really examining that nowadays. Does it really need to be talked about? Or do I need to practice it in myself? How can I be present to what it is that I want to
Tenafasel.
talk about
Hu.
with somebody else and end up most likely in some kind of a way triggering their ego and getting triggered in my ego? And then, and then it ends sometimes on a better note than others, but it usually doesn't end on a good note. Whether it is a relationship, whether it is any
Hoshida.
dispute,
Ai.
any conflict. So, in a way, I'm talking about conflict resolution in a different way. So, this person that I needed to terminate my work with this week, I actually asked him to have a conversation
Respirar
in which
bamor.
he can give me the blessings of his soul towards continuing to do what I'm doing. And he really said yes to the invitation. And our completion conversation turned out to be so positive, so inspiring. The door is
Atmen.
open
Liebe.
because I dared, of course, I asked first for the blessings of my soul before I asked him. And the blessings of my soul actually guided me to ask him for his blessings rather than to start talking about what went wrong and for me to act as
Respira
if I'm not
l'amore.
resentful and I'm not disappointed. And I was all the above. But I was willing to go really for the positive and for another possibility, the blessing of the soul. Because the soul always wants to bless us, really. But we have to
Breathe
be ready, like
love.
love, to receive it. So, it's, so I'm a refugee. I keep reminding that to myself and to everyone who wants to listen to it. I was born in a refugee
Respira
camp, a
amore.
displaced people refugee camp in Germany after the war. And I spent a year and a half in this camp. But something about being a refugee stayed with me. Today at 70, I am
Respirez
still a
l'amour.
refugee. What does that mean? It means really that there is a certain way in which I don't feel that I belong anywhere. And on the downside, I was reminded this week when I saw this amazing movie, which I
Une
highly
chambre
recommend, about
à vin.
refugees in the world, directed by Ai Weiwei, the Chinese amazing artist, called Life Flow. And this is a movie about refugees in the world. Uh, 3 hours of
كالنفس
just
الحب.
seeing the heart-wrenching pictures and situations of refugees today. And there are so many, so many, so many refugees. And then at the end of the movie, there was a line that was said by a woman who is working with refugees in Berlin, Syrian
Kushida.
refugees,
Aïe.
which I did last year. I went to Berlin to work with Syrian refugees exactly this time, a year ago. And she said, quote, the most important thing that we need to do for them is to make them feel like human beings again, unquote. There was
Respirar
something
vamos.
about that sentence that so touched deep. Yes, of course, of course, of course. You know, the obvious is to provide a home, shelter, a physical home, country. People who lost their
Accueillant.
country, who
Libre.
lost their home, who lost loved ones, who lost work, who lost their identity in many ways. However, the real work, the real work, which in a sense I am still experiencing today,
Respira
living here in the
l'amore.
United States, which is, still one of the privileged places to live in the world. And having grown up in Israel, and then I lived in Paris, and I lived in Italy, and I lived a couple of places,
Breathe
but there is a
love.
certain way in which belonging to life, to the country, to the society, to the community, it really, really doesn't happen externally. I mean, I feel very comfortable. I love New York. I feel the most at home
Respira
here than
amore.
I felt anywhere else in the world. However, every day I get hijacked of this feeling. I get triggered by feeling that I don't belong, feeling that
Respirez
I don't
l'amour.
really have a home. I don't feel safe in the world. And I have to work with that. And I found a way of working with it, a practice, a daily practice that whenever I resort to this
Une
practice, when
chambre
I get triggered by
à
not
vin.
feeling at home, not feeling connected to my soul, that's what it comes down to. Not feeling connected to my humanity. when I observe it, when I notice it, and I have to notice it in order to
تنفس
do something about
الحب.
it, I return to my breath. I open my heart. I feel the breath in my heart. Breathe love. And usually within seconds or
Ushinda.
minutes,
Ai.
come back to this connection that I call being human, humaning up, stretching my humanity and breathing love,
Respirar vamos.
feeling the breath in my body, opening my broken heart. Yeah, sometimes the heart is broken. Moving with grace and becoming a force of light,
Atmen Liebe.
following my bliss, the blessings of my soul, celebrating and art. Yeah, that's how I am an artist of living. By
Respira l'amore.
living heartfully every day. And it stems from my practice. And it stems from being a refugee,
Breathe love.
but not staying a refugee victimized by being a refugee. Engaging my breath, my heart, my soul to celebrate being you
Respira
in the moment,
amor.
moment by moment, breath by breath. So this is what I feel drawn to now.
Respirer
Maybe for the
l'amour.
next time I have left on this earth, I would love to serve, give back life in this way. Refugee door.
לנשום אהבה.
I need blessings of soul to do that. Do that consciously. And I need your blessings. So if you like how it feels and how it sounds,
תנפס אל
support me. I don't know how, but make your voice known to me and let me know how you can support this cause. Or let's find out
Ushinda.
together.
Ai.
So this is the first time that I'm reaching out for support to forward and bring forth refugee dome.
Respirar
And if you
vamos.
want to know how to get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me on Facebook. If you are watching this on Facebook and you are my Facebook friend, you can also become my Facebook friend if you reach out to me, and also through my website,
Atmen
thebreeze.com,
Liebe.
BREAZE.com. You can email me, call me, text me. Just send me a loving, energetic message. And now, the time left, I would
Respira
like to
l'amore.
do the 5 steps of the breathe to become, to connect with the blessings of your soul. Celebrate being human now.
Breathe
So,
love.
this practice that I'm going to play is can be practiced. You can move, and you can visualize if you are not in a position to move.
Hi, my name is Samuel Jacob Kirschner.
Breathe with ease. And feel the breath in your body. As you breathe in, and as you breathe out. Start shaking. Engage your whole body in shaking from the inside out. And feeling the breath in your body. And shift into flowing, flowing like a river and letting go. Become one with the breath. And with the movement and the music. Breathe with ease. Stand like a tree. If you're standing, your knees bent and your hands open in an open position. Stand like a tree and make space. Open your heart and feel the breath in your heart. Having a heart for yourself. Breathe. Love. Walk like an elephant with grace. Your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your belly. Feel the breath in your heart and ask for the blessing of your soul as you walk with grace. Dance and celebrate being human now. Become a force of life. You can be a happy refugee. Notice how you feel. Just stay for a moment with yourself, with your breath, being present.
Respira, amor.
Not too often we are allowed or invited, allowing ourselves, of course, or invited just be with
Respirez
ourselves
l'amour.
to have that relationship that there is not one like it or no other. The relationship with yourself, being human, celebrating now,
לנשום אהבה.
finding the refuge in the blessing of your soul and feeling the breath in your heart. If you'd like to know more about doing more work or inner work around this,
תנפסל.
you can find out about our programs and offerings on thebreath.com. You can also write to me. My email is samuel@thebreeze.com. Find out how you can either work with me one on one or join one of our programs and groups. We have some
הושידה.
online and we have
Ay.
some on Skype and also physical groups that meet. And it sounds like this time of saying bye bye or adieu. See you again.
Respirar
Breathe
vamos.
love. Have a day filled with joy, oxygen, and ease. This is Samuel Jacob Kirshner, voice of the Breathe. Thank you so much for listening. And See you next week. This video will be on YouTube, on the website, and on Facebook.
Atmen Liebe.